light without dark.
All right, there you go. That was the title track from Ectovoid's new album, In Unreality's Coffin. From the album and I can't fucking tongue twisting. In Unreality's Coffin. Anyway, that shit is really good. Everyone needs to go check it out because just another great slab of American death metal from the South, as usual. Always kicks ass. So I fucking love it, so I want to talk about it. But first, just run through these little promos here. Let's see what we got going on before we bring Chuck on. Got some shows to talk about coming up. Let me get this out of the way so we can see what the hell I'm talking about. Coming up next Friday here in San Antonio, Maestas, Pius Levis, and more at the Mix, February 27th. And then we got coming up too as well. Look at this one coming up the 21st up in Austin at the Valhalla, formerly Room 710. We got Spears Siege, good old Jake. I hope it fucking rips Jake, and Goratorium and Flexus Mortis from San Antonio playing up there. And coming up in Dallas on Saturday, Eat the Decay, Mutual Hate, and a bunch more up in Dallas at Dusty's. Remember Dusty Kazangas from Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Maybe it's her. I doubt it. Anyway, that's coming up. And then on Saturday, I'm sorry, not Saturday, it's Tuesday actually, here in San Antonio, we got Exhume, Oxygen Destroyer, one of the, if you watch The Witching Hour, you know I like that band, and No Mas at the ODEF. And this whole tour is hitting Austin at the Lost Well, Houston at The Inn, haven't heard of that one, and Dallas at the Double Wide. So it's like, what's that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? So Exhumed coming to town, so that's fucking cool. On the YouTubes, Saturday, check out Welcome to Hell, good old Mike Abominator's channel. He's going to have a Black Metal Takeover Part 2 with Megs will be on the show as well. And I believe that's it. So there we go. Pay attention to, oh, you know what? I should talk about this one too. What am I fucking thinking? Up in Houston, Texas on April 4th, Imprecation, Maestas, Sacracurse, Pius Levis, and Necroblade at the White Swan. So going old school at that one. And we got to talk about Insecticide in Portland. When is this one? This one's coming up soon too, right? 425. Shit, yeah. Close ass shows. Shows everywhere, everyone. Get your shit together. Keep your money for the Book of the Worm Expanded Edition CD 2026 coming from Goat Throne. 3 bonus tracks, whole new packaging with a little CD poster in there too, you know. Not like a giant one, but you know, the CD posters you get. So that'll be cool. That should be coming soon from Goat Throne. Alright, without further ado, get all that rigmarole done. Let's bring Chuck on. So here he is. Hey Chuck, how you doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
Good. I have to go through, try to knock out all that stuff so we can get to the interview, man. I'm going to try to say your album title one more time. In Unreality's Coffin. I don't know why that was
dude.
Dude, first of all, I liked all the other two. I have them here as well. But I think on this one, is it safe to say, do you guys feel like you next leveled it on this album? Because to me, it seems like you did. I'm like, damn, this is like, production-wise, songwriting-wise, I feel like it just took it to the next level. And I love the old stuff, too. It's raw and heavy and killer. But how do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, man. I really appreciate the kind words and also the support throughout the years. Because, like, yeah, I mean, throughout the years, we've just kind of done the best we could with what we had. But, like, this time we wanted to really pull all of our resources and just kind of, like, make it sound as the best that we could, so like from the production standpoint, yeah, every time we've recorded an album it's been different. Like the first album we did reel to reel, like analog, like old school. The studio was really cool. It was like decked out like wood panels, everything.
Wow.
Was just like a legit studio. It was like something out of a scene of a movie or something. It was like, this is crazy, like all
like
kinds
a
of
real
music.
recording studio.
Yeah, and it was cool. We really wanted that vintage sound and feel. And then their second album, we kind of went, different route. We did digitally with our friend Josh Freeman from Hellgoat. He did an amazing job. He dabbled, with producing probably just as long, if not longer, than he played music. So he was definitely, one of the best guys we knew at the time to record us, at that time. So then after that, some years passed and we met our friend Alex Para. And he plays in like a power metal band called Paladin. And he plays guitar in a thrash metal band called Sadistic Ritual also. And You know, we
Oh, that
shared
band
members.
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
rule. Yeah, we shared members there for a while, for almost, damn near a decade seems like, and it just was natural to work with Alex. And this album is just so much kind of went into it. It feels kind of like, in a weird way, it's like a everlasting spew. It's not in a weird way; it's a real way. A everlasting spew super group. I mean, we got Sean now. We recruited him about a year and a half ago now. He is in Metaphobic, who was also on Everlasting Spew, and then it's us guys from Seraphic Entombment. And I recently joined Father Befouled about a year and a half ago, and
I saw that.
so
Yeah.
and so it's just like all of this kind of, in this region, representing Everlasting Spew, and like we're so thankful for the support we've gotten from them before any of the albums we've released with any of our bands. Just the correspondence. Tito and Giorgio are masterclass at what they do. I just think it's crazy, like, because in the last like 15, 20 years, I mean, there's like, Dark Descent was blowing off, like blowing up, and I
Mm-hmm.
think, before that, for me, it was like Razorback Records, Dark Descent, and now for me, it's like Everlasting Spew. Those are like the three like main veins for me personally in the last 20 years. I feel like have kind of gotten me where I'm at now as a musician and stuff. So yeah, with this new album, I think we really tried to bring it to the next level with like a riffs. I think we really found our sound and leaned into that.
Mm-hmm.
We took a decade break, writing and kind of working on stuff, but I mean, it was always going. I mean, we were always kind of playing shows and stuff. I mean, in a weird way, we were grieving our friend Michael Stewart, who passed away. Like our second album was out only about a year before he passed away, and it was just
Mm.
kind of like boom, like, hey, we got a show with Absu, and our friend just died, and we're like, oh shit! It was like some literal like Metallica type bullshit where we
No,
lost
that
a
that
friend and we had
that's
to like
tough.
fucking
Yeah.
keep on, and it was
Yeah.
weird, but like we kind of like we got some anger and rage out with our war metal band Hegemony or Hegemony, however you want to pronounce it. It was just kind of like, conqueror, blasphemy, worship, just bullet belts, spikes, bones, weapons on
Going at it
stage, just,
hardcore. Yeah.
and that was a real good outlet for us anger wise. And then like kind of like later after that, we kind of got into the Death Doom stuff like Ripakulu, just really groovy, but like off-putting and evil sounding like Death Doom shit. So we did that with Seraphic Entombment, and then Ectovoid just kind of been like, so Hegemony was Ryan's main writing outlet. Ryan Sullivan, he was originally in our band Bloated Carcass. It's like death thrash band. Is really influenced by like Impetigo and shit like that. So
Nice.
we did that for a while. He left us to go join Grave Ritual, which was one of the first bands that Matt from Dark Descent released. Burial Invocation and Grave Ritual. I
Mm-hmm.
think those were like the
Oh
first
yeah.
two releases he did. And so Ryan was on Euphoric Hymns of the Altar of Death. And honestly, dude, that put a fire under our ass. I mean, we were on good terms when he left, but I was like, man, fuck. Like Ryan and Jeremy from Grave Ritual and Abysmal Lord, and now currently Agartha and some other projects, like, they've always inspired the hell out of us to like raise the bar and like, do something
No,
real. So like
no, I
after
totally
Bloated
understand.
Carcass,
I
yeah,
totally understand when you see your buddies. It makes you want to move up too
yeah,
and
they
take it to
pushed
the next.
us.
Yeah.
They pushed us, and I've told Jeremy this recently that he was a huge inspiration, and he said vice versa, and it's really awesome to hear that reciprocated. Like a bro moment. Like bro, like I've always looked up to. He's like, yeah, you too, and I was always like, he's big bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been a couple
Mm-hmm.
years older than me. If like we went to the same high school, I'd get in trouble for hanging out with him type shit. You know what I mean? But
Nice. Yeah.
anyway, that's what it's all about, baby. But yeah, back circling back to like the album and stuff, like we really found our sound, and like without sounding too like much like any of the other projects we have. Like that's why we wanted to put different irons in the fire, so to speak, so that one band didn't just sound like 1,000 bands. We have distinct specific sounds. And
Sure. Yeah.
honestly, we live in Birmingham, Alabama, and it's really what the kids and like what the people and like really care more about right now is because it's easy to get and easy to digest is like the hardcore stuff, like, and that's cool to an extent. Like, I'm not really super into any of it. I do like some of the bands, the modern death metal bands that are obviously drawing from like hardcore influence and stuff, because it's just meat and potato stuff. If you don't really want to think about riffs, or you want to just feel like a caveman, yeah, it's cool.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's what's up, but like I don't know, like the hardcore stuff never really scratched any itches for me. Like early on in high school, like I dabbled in like stuff like maybe Hatebreed or something like that. But then I was like, dude, I like death metal. I like Morbid Angel and
Yeah.
Autopsy and Incantation like way more
Hatebreed
than
is like,
any of this shit. I was like,
the light version of the heavy stuff, right? It was like,
and
why?
I will say this: it is cool that even though Hatebreed is like weird, cringe, hardcore, Jamie Josta does know his shit about death metal, and he's
Uh,
supported a lot of cool bands and shit. He likes to stick his hands in the underground, and that's what's up. I mean, there's good shit here, it's always going to
yeah.
be here, and that's what is cool. Is like the you kind of like people come and go, bands come and go, and the ones who stick around or whatever, they kind of speak for themselves, and it's kind of awesome to be honest with you to come back after like a decade, over a decade it feels like, and to have such a warm and welcome response from like new people and our old friends and like people like you, like who've supported us since day one, like since like 2011. So thank every one of y'all. Seriously, it's amazing.
Well, I think it was the Abysmal Lord crew that put you guys on our radar. Like,
No shit. That's
yeah,
awesome.
me and Bear and all that. Because I remember when you came. I'm gonna show a clip later of you guys playing when you came to San Antonio at the one of the Metal Hell, Winter Hell or whichever one it was. I'm pretty sure it was them guys that told us, about you guys and put you on the radar, and that's how we found out about you.
Well, real quick, man, I just want to say rest in peace, Beer. Hod was awesome, and that's how I knew you. Like that's how I know you.
Yeah,
And like when we played that show in Texas, like he let us sleep on his floor, and like we hung out, and he treated us like family, and we were just strangers from fucking Birmingham, Alabama, and hanging out in fucking Texas. We've never even set foot in there. You know what I mean? Let alone to play a show. So it was awesome to like,
you guys kicked ass too, man.
dude.
I
Thank you for real.
made
Like
made made an impression. I remember. I was like, damn, fucking kicking ass, man. Hell
you
yeah.
guys did too, and that's what I loved about Beer. I loved his stage presence. I like, have never been a there's a band here locally called Immobilizer. I did vocals for recently, and I did a show or two with them. I'm not in the band anymore currently, but like that's the only time I've ever done like standalone vocals, and it's so hard to figure out what to do with your body, your hands, and shit. And he
I
was
can
just
only
himself.
imagine.
He was just himself on stage, a big burly ass sick dude, and I
Yeah.
fucking loved that. And I was like, all right, if I ever do some shit, that's some, what I mean, to lean in towards. Like, so I always, thought that was sick. But yeah, man, that was a sick show for sure. I mean, like, we were really lucky to kind of break out of our state line with our shows because a lot of bands, unfortunately, just kind of spin their wheels and don't really go, anywhere with doing all the local, shows all the time. You can oversaturate your scene,
Oh,
and
you don't want to play local too much.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it backfires. It does after a while.
I try to like, put my friends' bands on, to shows and put them on the promoters we know and stuff like that. But at this point, we're kind of like, to be honest, like it, like this year we're booked up show wise, and that's thanks to Giorgio and Tito with getting put on Killtown Death Fest
Well,
and doing a
since you
tour
brought
immediately
that
after.
up, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this flyer up because this is a big deal, man, for you guys. I say to get on the Killtown Death Fest. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Where, and where and when, is this happening? You guys are not only, you're crossing oceans to go play now. So where is this?
So it's starting out for us in Copenhagen, right there at the bottom. I think it says exactly like where it could be. So Copenhagen, Denmark, Pumpenhuset. I don't know, but
But
apparently,
you're going to Europe, is what we're
yeah, we're going to
saying.
Europe, and this is a huge deal. Like, and immediately after this, we're doing a 2 week run with Atomic Aggressor. So that's gonna be fucking sick.
So you're flying in to play the fest, and then you're gonna. What parts of Europe do you know you're hitting?
No, not yet. We haven't gotten any kind of like dates or anything, but like we're locked in for the tour for sure. So I mean,
So
like, yeah,
this is
this is
in
insane.
September.
Yeah, so we're gonna take off from work and stuff from like September 2nd through the 22nd. So we're roughly like gonna be gone for about 3 weeks or so.
Badass, dude. That's
Yeah, I mean
great.
we're just gonna be like casually hanging out backstage with like Cam Lee and shit like that. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, Francisco. We're not even gonna get that. You have to watch this show about the whole another death cover, man. But anyway,
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean,
exactly. But yeah, like all these other
Futuridorium.
bands.
I know them. They fucking rule. Atomic
Yeah,
Aggressor, obviously. I mean, that's a heavy lineup. Funeral Burn, goddamn.
yeah, Abhorrence. I'm stoked for them.
Oh, they're on there too.
Yeah, Snet. They're fucking awesome. I found out about them from Justin from Father Befoul. They're like good buddies and correspondent a lot, and yeah, Snet. They're fucking awesome. It's all in their native language. It's just fucking brutal, nasty, fucking sick death metal. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. Pertinence, I'm fucking really excited for them. Like they're classic for me.
Yeah, man. Well, that's cool. So that's a big upgrade, we could say.
Real
Going to
quick,
play. Uh
also
huh.
sorry to cut you off, but
Sure.
Fossilization, they're also label mates too. There's like 5 bands from Everlasting Spew on Killtown, so we're like totally representing.
Wow. Yeah. 5 bands on the fest. Yeah, sir.
Yeah,
So that's real amazing, by the way. So congrats on that. I'm sure you'll have
thanks,
a great
brother.
time. Also, now I noticed too. What's going on with getting the actual physical merch here? Have you heard any updates? Because I obviously most people want to get a copy, but the damn shipping from overseas is like what triple the price of the CD or whatever. So
Yeah.
how are you guys rectifying that for your American fans?
Well, we're going to get a shipment of records and CDs and I think they're also doing tape if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to have all that. We're going to have all copies available for sale here at shows or to ship off to anybody. We currently have merch. So the thing is, so over the last decade, we've ran out of merch and like gotten more and then ran out like constantly. So I guess it's a great problem to have, right? But it's like
Yeah, it's a
so all
double
right,
edged sword, right? Because
right.
yeah, it's great to sell it, but then when you play something else, oh, I ain't got any
Yeah, so
merch
it's
now.
like, when we play, we want to have some like stuff for the people, like, and a lot of the times people are going to leave with a shirt. So we'll like print off a box of shirts and we still have copies of stuff. But now, thanks to Boris Records out of Georgia, they repressed Dark Abstraction, our second album. And the layout is phenomenal. Justin Stubbs from Father Befouled, he's helped us with like several albums now with like Seraphic Entombment, the Ectovoid reissue, and the current, in Unreality's Coffin. Like Justin Stubbs is a madman graphic designer, Restless Nerve. That's his page. You should check it out. He's great. But yeah, so Dark Abstraction, we have that. We have vinyl
Are
copies
you
of
saying
that.
it's a new layout from the original,
Yes,
or?
so it's a new
Oh,
layout
okay.
because we have our new logo and the fonts is a little bit different and we have a memoriam to Michael Stew in the lyric sheet. So it's really awesome that we have copies
Uh,
of that now.
I might
So
have
we
to
have
pick
we
that up
have
then.
vinyl of that and we have t-shirts that feature our current logo and our classic 3 Twisted Spirit art, and we have like several shirt designs available, but the problem is we just haven't put anything up online yet. So we're kind of waiting to do all that when we have the new album as well. Just kind of come out with a burst of everything available for everybody. And
That's a smart move.
we also my wife, so super thanks to her, she's amazing. She helped us do a website. If you go to ectovoid.com, you can look up and there's
Oh, you got
our
the domain and
history.
everything. Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like my wife hooked it up, dude. Like she got it to where she did like the band bio. There's old flyers from our shows. There's all kinds of stuff. It needs to be updated a little bit. She did recently put some of the new album stuff on there, but she's basically in charge of running that right now. But ectovoid.com, baby.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
but
Get
so
everything
we'll
you need, right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have it available through us. Like, so if anybody ever wants to like DM me or Chris McDonald on Facebook, or I run the Instagram Ectovoid Ancient Death. If anybody wants to like message me, we'll get you a copy of whatever you want. It's just just be patient. It's just us. We're just living in this crushing capitalist society and fucking doing our best to play some sick death metal to keep you guys happy.
Get to
So
the
we
post
really
office
appreciate
and all that, and yeah.
yeah, I really appreciate anybody and everybody who's ever reached out or got anything from us at shows or whatever. Like, you know, we couldn't do it without y'all, so we thank y'all so much for real.
Yeah, I thought I think this album's gonna creep up on people, because just give it time to get through the, whatever, the canals. I don't know. But,
Well,
just give it time to start getting out there more to people. And I think it's going to probably end up on a lot of people's album of the years list and all that stuff. Because I was really impressed with it. I thought it was killer. And I think,
thanks, man.
the more it gets out there, too, it's going to start creeping out, and getting more popular, in the underground.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I really appreciate that again. And like it is wild. Like, I feel like so many people have recently just found out about us. And like, there's this awesome dude he lives in Denver, but he's originally from Florida. His name's Kevin Bursler, and he has a YouTube page. And our album wasn't even out a week. And this guy made a pro fucking guitar playthrough of the first song on our album. And I've never done tabs. I don't even do tabs for my bandmates. It's basically like they learn by ear and shit. And
yeah,
so
go
crazy.
To practice, learn it, and there you go.
And I was like, holy shit, when I saw that it was going to be posted, I waited, however many days until it went live. And I was like, I can't wait to see how this guy plays this. I want to see if he plays it differently. Like, if he plays it in an easier way, I'm going to play it that way. But, dude, Kevin knocked it out of the park. He's an amazing guitar player. He also covered a Fossilization song from their new album, and it hasn't even been released yet when he covered that song. So Kevin's a maniac, and that was awesome for us because coming out of over a decade darkness, just of obscurity, to see dudes covering our songs on YouTube, all these reviews in different languages, a lot of everything's different now than it was 10 years ago. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like all the scroll stuff that everybody can do, you're doing this now. Like, this is awesome. And it's crazy because, like, people are finding out about that because they can hear, like, a split second of our song because they scrolled up. They heard somebody talking about their best of January or whatever. There's been, like, 10 or 15 of those that I've seen. I'm like, holy shit, that's so cool. Like, so yeah, dude. I mean, and obviously we're patient. I mean, we've just been hanging out, doing other stuff, and living life and keeping it real. So, I mean, who knows? 10 years from now, this could be somebody's favorite album. But I did see something that was really cool in the comments of that guitar cover video. Was this random guy was like, "I want tabs for this. I'm just now starting guitar, and this song is awesome." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like an Ectovoid
cool
song is a dude's first guitar song. This other guy's a maniac, and he's playing it. But it's just going through, and it's like. Fuck yeah, that's what it's all about. So whatever, dude.
I mean, no, that's cool to hear. You like some because we all were there, right? We all were there at some point. We just got into this stuff, and I mean, it's a little different for me, when I was younger because we didn't have the fucking internet. But it doesn't matter. If you truly like it and you're getting into it, how cool is that to see? Like some young kid saying, "Hey, I really dig this song," and I want more of it. That's cool to hear, dude. Congrats on that, man.
Thanks, dude, for real. I mean, it's what it's all about, man. Making connections and hanging out and shit. I mean, meeting you, meeting beer, meeting people you like probably won't ever really see in person ever again because you're not going to be in that state for some years or whatever. But
yeah,
hell, dude, if we're in Texas, I know I'll see you there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, if you're coming to San Antonio, I'll definitely be there. Yeah, I'm glad you guys got to meet Bear. Just to talk a little bit about Bear. Bear did a lot for the time that Hod was around. Bear did a lot for the whole San Antonio metal scene, like bringing bands and shows that really doesn't get talked about. A lot of people just talk about, like the Hod part of it, but Bear himself, and along with his, John Brokenboard and Kyle Black Jackal, the three of them working together, bringing shows and booking bands, it really made us for some really killer shows and times. So, shout out to Beer just for the other things he did for the scene, and like making me know about your band, through the Abysmal Lord guys, because he booked the show. Hey, Abysmal Lord, and they were fucking killer. So of course we're gonna take their word, right? They say check out this band too. Like sure. So just wanted to say that about Beer too.
Yeah, dude, he's definitely a well-missed pillar of the scene, and I wish that we had more guys like Beer, around in general who could, work the magic that
facilitate
really
it all somehow. Yeah,
getting fucking people in, getting them from the airport, getting them where they need to go, getting them fed, getting them bed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a huge deal, and yeah, fucking praise and hails to that guy. I wish our scene was half as much alive as it is where you're at, as far as shows and shit go. Like I said, it's mostly hardcore stuff. The
Yeah, I
hardcore
mean,
kids, they listen to like if we played a show in front of a hardcore crowd, they would be like, "That was cool," but they wouldn't be able to like pick up change or do that shit, or
do all the silly things they do now.
And I get it. Like, I mean, I understand that that's what you're expecting, but we don't listen to that, so we can't replicate that for you. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like if you watched a movie, you weren't really into that genre, and it was undeniably good. You're like, okay, yeah, it was a good movie, but I'm not really one.
It
I don't know.
still
It's just
doesn't
like,
connect to me. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I hear. I mean, for me, when I talk hardcore, I'm talking '80s hardcore. That's really the only hardcore I know.
it's like verbal abuse. Is that
Yes,
hardcore? I don't know.
yeah.
Like,
That's what I call hardcore. Verbal abuse, old Gnostic Front. The first Suicidal album, and of course, like the hardcore grind. Whatever. Heresy and all that. But that's what I think hardcore. Like I see it now. It's very foreign to me with looking like rappers with the ball caps and all the
Yeah, I don't know.
stuff that I'm like, and when they bring in the tough guy lingo, and the dude's like from the valley here in Texas, and you're like, you don't talk, dude, you're not from New York. Oh, but I'm just not. It doesn't connect for me. That's
It's not
my
relatable.
cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into it. I mean, I don't know. And here in Birmingham, we have like this huge fest called Furnace Fest, and there's like a huge old like metal factory that was operational in, like the early 1900s, basically, and like fucking, they basically just have a hardcore festival, and like bands like Knocked Loose or the fucking headliner. So I'm like, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
whatever, dude. Like, I mean, it's
not
just
wasting my
accessible.
time on that tonight.
It's like a new wave of new metal, basically, to like say you like heavy music, but it's just bullshit, like all the Slaughter to Prevail shit, and like co-worker death metal is what I call that. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Put the fries in the bag. I don't want to hear what you listen to.
Yeah, that's always kind of a like. I know exactly. It's an embarrassing conversation because you don't want to be a dick. I mean, I try not. Younger me was a dick, but I try not to be like some dude's like, oh, hey, cool shirt, and they start bringing up bands like I really don't fucking like and all that, and it's like, dude, I just want to get out of here. I don't want to talk about this, but I don't want to be like a super dick to somebody too. But
yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Like, I mean, the other day I was in a video game store, and this dude behind the register, I mean, I'm wearing probably a Morbid Angel shirt or something. He's like, that's cool. And we like start talking about music. And I told him about us and to check us out. We just had the album. I was like on the subject. It wasn't like, hey, check me out, I'm in a death metal band. I usually never even bring it up. So whatever. But anyway, like he said he liked Disturbed. And I was like, going along with it, like, yeah, down with the sickness, bro. But he was serious, so I was like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
This isn't an irony thing. Let me like make him feel cool for a second. And, all right, let me get this old game. Let me get out of here, bro. So I don't know, like, yeah, when you meet people who aren't really about that life, it's easy to like troll them. It's easy to like take it somewhere, or it's easier to just ignore it. So I don't know, dude. Like, when like I have it's really rare when you meet somebody. Like, I have a buddy at my job, like I do landscaping for a living, and his name's Brandon, and he does like death metal bands and shit too, and he knows about legit shit, like, you know what I mean. Like, he shared that Iniquity album that came out in like '96. It's been buzzing around recently, like 2017 remaster or whatever. Like, he just, like, we know about real shit, and he's my coworker, and it's like the only one coworker I've ever had. So who knows about like legit death metal? So it's like, yeah, dude, what's up? That new Fossilization album is so sick, and it's like Monday morning. I'm like, yes, I have someone to talk about death metal with at work, but it's so rare, So that's why
that's mega rare.
So shout out Brandon, what's up, dog? But anyway,
I had some coworkers like, it might know Slayer,
Exactly, and it doesn't
Slayer,
go any further than that.
Yeah,
like, I've had a coworker who was into like shit, and he like came to one of our shows, and he had a good time, but it was just like, all right, see ya Tuesday or whenever, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's cool.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
So, other than that, so you guys, as you're talking about, there's a lot of cross pollination, I guess we could say, in all the different bands that. Now, I looked on Metal Archives earlier, and it had you listed as in Ritual Decay. Is that? They got you with the right Chuck?
Yeah, all right. So there's two Chucks, Charles White, Chuck White or whatever. Yeah, so I was in Ritual Decay briefly. I played live with them a few times. I played once in
Okay.
Texas. Yeah, I played a gig that Zorak put on
Okay.
at the White Swan. I played with them once, and I played with them once in Atlanta. I was just off and on. I was just kind of spreading myself kind of thin at that time. I was in
So
like
you're just like
five
kind of
different.
helping them out, kind of just
Well,
filling in.
yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of really was into the band too, and I wanted to be in the band, but I was like spread myself too thin, so it just didn't work out. You know how shit,
Yeah.
life happens. You kind of like drift
You can
apart,
only
stop
be in
talking
so
as
many
much.
bands at one time sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we're all cool or whatever, but we don't really like talk that much anymore. Just kind of all like kind of falling off and just done our own thing. So
Sure.
nothing
I mean,
personal. It's all good. We're just
it
hanging out,
happens.
doing.
But I was just wondering, I was like, wait a minute. Is this the same Chuck? Because I met Chuck and it don't look like Chuck. But you
Yeah,
never know. Okay, that makes
yeah,
sense now. Okay.
yeah. It's my chuckle ganger or vice versa. I'm his chuckle ganger, whatever. It's all good. Doesn't have to
So
just be one.
no, no. So before we started, man, we were talking about, and I saw a couple comments in the chat about the figures that you have
Yeah,
behind you
dog.
on the wall there. So you're
Yeah,
obviously a hard
that's my
collector.
that's my Return of the Living Dead. What's
Let
up,
me
my
put you
fucking favorite
solo
one?
so we can actually see these, but you'll still be able to hear me. So, all right,
Yeah,
what do we got going here,
let me
man?
show you the wall. Okay, so I've got the Super Seven, Trash, and Tarman. I got the
Fucking
Return of the
Super
Living
Seven,
Dead,
badass.
and then I got the Creep Show. It's kind of like a just a 3D like art piece. It's sick.
All
Got
right.
the old school Mego brand Creep
Oh
Show.
yeah.
Got
Where's
the
my
like Creep
cake?
Show, like the Shutter brand, Creep Show. Got
Yeah, yeah.
Elvira.
The host, I guess.
Yeah, and I got a Street Sharks. Got a cool portrait of me and my wife from the fair, and a goofy picture of my dog. Got a little bit of death metal in there. Look, I got Incantation next to Frankenstein and Beetlejuice.
That's always nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Get some
then
Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. How cool. Yeah.
yeah, and I was showing you these guys earlier. I like bad guys. I like to collect the bad guys and the
Yeah, of
dead guys.
course. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude! Thanks for letting me show off the toy collection. That's really sick. I don't really ever get to show it off to many people.
Yeah, well, we got some nerds here, so we like
Fuck
it
yeah!
too. Yeah, because I know. I mean, I don't know if you watch my show, but I, I I do a lot of nerd shit too here on the side on the channel. You know what I mean? Like I buy comics, talk about figures and horror movies and things like that every once in a while. See, like look at Barry, he's like, fuck yeah.
Well, dude, I'm gonna be real with you. This is the first time I've checked out your show, being on it, and I loved your intro. I was like, holy shit, this is like I need to be watching more of this. So thank you for putting me on to your show and putting me on your show.
Oh well, like I said, dude, I heard the album, and I was like, damn, we gotta promote this. This shit fucking rules, man. More people need to hear about it. So that's what we're doing.
Oh
And
yeah, dude.
if you want to start, this is gonna be what the kids call flex. Start with my Necrovore interview. That's one of the best ones on my channel, in my opinion.
Okay, I will. For
Yeah.
real.
But anyway, getting back to you know, collecting like action figures or horror movie figures or whatever. When did you start getting into doing stuff like that?
Well, I mean, I've always loved action figures growing up. I mean, it's just something easy to grab at Toys R Us or Walmart or whatever. Like from back in the day when they made toys for IPs that were rated R movies, but kids toys, like RoboCop and Alien
Yes.
and Predator. So I had all that shit, right? And I would always get like random zombie stuff and cool shit that was like Halloween decorations, but looked like a cool figure. Just keep it around all year or whatever. So as a kid, pretty much just never really stopped. I mean, I have a 7-year-old who doesn't even play with toys anymore. He plays his Nintendo Switch and plays outside and shit. He doesn't care about toys anymore for real. But
That's
I don't
crazy
know.
how that's changed, right? Because when
Yeah,
you go
and
see it in the toy shop, look, it's mostly adults buying these figures. It's
well,
not
it's
kids.
crazy because when you see a fucking like a hugely detailed like gremlin, like Stripe from Gremlins,
Yeah,
at Target, hell yeah, I'm gonna fucking break my pocket and take that home with me along with my creamer and my fucking coffee filters, whatever. Um, Yeah, they make toys for guys like us these days because they know we'll buy them and put them on a shelf or put them on the wall or sell them later or whatever. So, hey, man, I'm glad it's going because it's been fun. Like, I mean, the last 2 years or so, I got really heavy into it because my wife, she got me this sick Evil Dead Ash Ultimate NECA figure, and I was
NECAs
like,
do good stuff too, man.
yeah, so it just kind of started from there. Like, so about 2 years ago, yeah, my wife hooked me up with that Ash figure for like Valentine's Day, and I was like, hell yeah, I love toys. Let me get more toys. And then I had a chase. Like my chase was the Toxic Crusaders Toxie. They Trick or Treat Studios reissued that, and they've been doing a lot of sick shit lately. And yeah, I found that, and it was like, all right, I got my nut. Let me take a break for a while, and then
Yeah.
I recently found this huge stash of 2001 unopened Lord of the Rings figures, and I've been buying them slowly but surely from the game store down the street from me. And like I'll crack one open and be like, "It's been a rough day. I need to sniff Saruman."
Yeah, yes.
It's fucking great. So yeah, dude, I've been doing that here. You know, I've been breaking open vintage toys and sniffing the plastic and playing with them and posing them and putting them on a shelf. Like that's been fun as a 37-year-old man. So fuck yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it. I
But you
know
know what I
the
mean? Because
feeling.
like, look, a lot of us are gonna keep it in the box, but I'm being like a maniac about it. I'm like cracking it open.
You're
Throwing,
rebelling, bro. You're taking them
yeah,
out of the box, especially the vintage figures. Oh,
yeah,
you're
it's
gonna give
awesome.
some people some heart attacks out there, man. Who like
Hey, you
no.
can't take it with you, bro. So you might as well get that whiff of 2001, baby.
Yeah, exactly true, man. You just like, oh,
I literally, and what's funny is one of the toys, I got a version of Gimli, and it has a KB Toy sticker from the mall that they demolished like 15 years ago. That was like where we used to go on Saturdays. We'd like walk to the mall, like check out Books a Million, go to the arcade, check out, you know, Toys R Us, and then the mall, and then walk back home with whatever we scored or didn't score. You know what I mean? Playing video
yeah,
games and shit,
yeah,
watching horror
yeah.
movies. Like I've always been into horror and shit. You know, like my first real horror movie, I got a shout out to my mom, was fucking Phantasm. So
Phantasm's
like
great. Yeah, the
that
tall
was my
man.
first like step into horror, and then it was always, you know, typical shit slasher stuff, you know, Leatherface, Leprechaun, Chucky, fucking all that kind of stuff, and you know, Gage from Pet Cemetery and all that shit. So like that was stuff I grew up on, like Jaws, and then like my mom actually accidentally rented me Toxic Avenger, I think 3, the one where like he puts the
Which
dude's
one?
hands in the VCR machine and he fights the devil at the end. Like
Oh God,
she
I
didn't know
haven't
that
seen
that
that
was
in
what
so
it
long.
was. It was just like tits and head crushing and shit. She's like, oh
Yeah,
fuck. So it was all good. But yeah, ever since then, I've just always been into, you know, good old school horror. There's been some modern shit that's been pretty good recently, and you know, there's toys for it too. Like, so it's really cool to see like Terrifier action figures and like I don't know, it's
yeah.
just really it's
It's,
sick.
it's crazy now. Like, there's an action figure for almost anything.
Yeah, and there's no toy stores anymore. So like Walmart and Target, you know, they've opened up, you know, that avenue for collectors, which is cool. Like some Targets are bullshit, but some of them have like a whole ass aisle full of stuff. And the Walmarts are starting to get better in their electronics section. They have cool random
Dude, I
collector
am
shit.
pissed off at my Walmart because they they just dedicated. They used to have like a nice section for like the cool collector shit, and then yeah, and they put it over in electronics. And it's this one little fucking thing. This is the Walmart by my house. I have to go to other ones now, and half the time there's nothing in it. It's already gone. It's like,
Well, I mean, I think Todd McFarlane kind of directly tried to influence moving the toys from where they were to the electronic section, so that probably fucked things up. It's to his chagrin at this point because you are actually buying that shit, and it kind of fucked you up locally. So,
yeah,
thanks,
yeah,
Todd.
and
Thanks, Todd.
the electronics doesn't have the room. It's just like one little fucking part in the aisle, and it's like, oh man, this is fucking whack, dude. What the fuck is this? Always empty too.
It's
But
both.
I heard other WalMarts like fucking rule. But I'm just like I'm not gonna spend my Saturday driving around the WalMarts looking for figures. I don't have the time to do that type of shit anymore like I used to on Saturday.
Yeah.
Hey, your album cover, is that actual art, or is that like someone made it on the computer? Because it's really nice. I wanna
Okay, so
show
that's
it.
Paul. That's actually Paulo
Paulo Girardi.
Girardi. It's a painting by Paulo Girardi.
Okay. Where's
Yeah.
what else has he
So
done? Because it kind of
so
looks like
like, all right, you ever heard of the band Blasphemafogger? They're from Italy. He's
yes,
done
yeah, okay,
all right.
yes,
So and he's done like albums for a lot of like he's done albums for like popular bands too, like Power Trip and shit like that. I'm not into Power Trip at all, but
sure.
he's he's a very like out like they a lot of people like go after him and it was crazy. Like if you like were to look up all the albums that Paulo Girardi has painted, you're like, holy shit! Like he did the most recent like Profanatica albums. He's done so much shit. It's so hard to keep up with, but he's
How'd you
done a
get hooked
lot.
up with that? That sounds like it's a good hookup,
Well,
man.
yeah, I mean, so he's from Italy, and so Tito and Giorgio, they corresponded with him on that, and they actually footed the bill for that. So that was another crazy
Very
thing about,
nice.
because I mean, he's an expensive artist too, so it was crazy like that, you know, our label hooked us up with something like that, and it's like such a legendary, like hand painted piece of work, you know what I mean? And it's like in this day of like digital bullshit, everybody can like be an artist on their iPad, and that's cool. I mean, I give that credit. Like, you know, if you're making art on an iPad or some kind of tablet, or you're making art on paper or any actual form of media, whatever, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
you're
awesome.
making art still. Yeah, you're
But
creating it.
we can all agree that the AI bullshit is bullshit, and whatever we could go on for like hours on that. But the whole point is, yeah, in this day and age, like where it's so easy to create something like that, someone like putting that much time and effort and sweat and energy into it, you know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. So
Yeah,
I
that's
hope
what.
that sorry, I hope that Paulo Girardi was painting our painting while wearing jorts and blasting Molly Hatchet, because that's the only way I know Paulo Girardi, and I'll always think of him in that way. And he's an amazing artist, an amazing dude. He's like an old Greco-Roman style wrestler. Like he's a man's man. He's fucking crazy, dude. He's
Shit.
like he lives in his studio, and he's got like human skulls around, and he just literally blasts Molly Hatchet and paints death metal for a living. It's fucking crazy. I don't even think he gives as much of a shit about death metal as any of us do, and he's just being himself, and he's
He
just
just
like,
he gets it though visually and naturally, but like how to bring
yeah,
it to life.
yeah. We let him kind of do his own thing on that too. Like we wanted his input. We didn't want to be like, hey, we want a casket over here. We want a fucking tomb over here. We want this, that, and the other. We just wanted him to like, let it breathe. So
No, I mean I think he took the title and ran with it.
yeah,
It looks really fucking cool. But no, it's yeah. I mean that's important to have a good album cover. You know, I learned in some bands, you got to have a good album cover, or it just may not get people's attention
and
sometimes.
yeah, dude, for real. And like, I think we kind of so our first album art, like I was kind of like the one trying to design that. I was going for like a total blatant like Soulside Journey ripoff. So if you ever look at our album art and put it next to Soulside Journey, you'll be like, eh.
I never thought
Because
that.
that's like another that's like a main influence for me is like
Uh huh.
Soulside Journey, Era Dark Throne, Mortuary Drape, Voivod. Those are like my old school influences, and then like modern influences would be like Dead Congregation, Incantation, Morbid Angel, Autopsy, whatever. Even though they kind of whatever, you know what I'm saying. But those are like
Sure.
kind of like my
No.
main influences or whatever. But like I don't know, yeah. Sorry, I just kind of got off subject there for a little bit.
No,
My
I,
bad.
I, I like. I shit. Sometimes my shows end up being nothing about what the show should be about.
Shit. All right, that's what's up. All right,
Yeah, who cares? As long as it's
I'm
cool
here for it.
conversation. But I was gonna say something. But I lost my fucking train of thought about the album cover. No, no, not totally not it. I kind of hear some black metal in the guy's sound, and it could just be me. But am I correct? Do you think there's some, like, I'm talking aggressive black metal, not
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
dumb
know.
stuff.
Yeah, we're
But
not like talking about
yeah,
like keyboard,
no, no, not
frosty,
symphonic.
moon
No,
goblin shit. But no, like I mean, there is definitely an element, I guess, somewhat. I mean, like I said, like one of my main influences is Mortuary Drape, and they are like technically a black metal band, I guess, but they have super
totally
death metal
are.
stuff. They have blast beats, they have thrash beats, they have slow parts, they have a little bit of everything. So yeah, I guess in a way we are kind of like a black death metal band, but we're more, I guess, just a death metal band because in
Yeah,
the
more
last,
on a death metal end for sure.
yeah, I
But
mean, because
I
like,
felt some elements of black metal in there. Like you guys could easily play like one of those death metal, black metal bills or whatever. Because I think both crowds like totally dig it. You know.
yeah, that's kind of like, okay, so we're like, a band who's trying to fuse death metal and hardcore. Like I've done that with like the death and the black kind of stuff, where we also could probably fit on a war metal gig too. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, all those genres I actually fuck with. So kind of feel like Ectovoid definitely is an amalgamation of like a little bit of all that. So it was kind of like my goal was to be like, I want this band to be like heavy enough to pretty much be on like any bill. Like we've played with like Deicide, Morpheus Descends, and Absu. So those are three like very different bands to me. Like Deicide is like straight up like death metal, but has that black metal kind of blasphemous kind of edge to it, right? And then Morpheus Descends is straight up death metal, but then Absu has been a death metal band before, but then a black metal band, and then you know what I mean. So it's like I don't know. That's kind of like the goal, and I think we definitely kind of achieved that. So it's cool that you know, you noticed that.
Yeah, I felt it in the sound and the answer. Do you know Disguster? Dylan, you know Dylan from Head Split. He's
Yeah,
we already
I've
discussed
never
that.
talked to him before, but I mean, I respect him what he does. I've always thought Head Split was sick, and he's always on to everything that's current and sick. So that's what's up, dog. I've
I
never met
think
him
you
before.
just literally missed that part of the conversation, Dylan, where we talked about ritual decay.
Yeah, I used to jam with him. We're cool.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Ritual decay demo fucking ruled. That's what I had. So, demo from them. I forgot what it was called, but
Yeah,
I don't know what else they did.
I recorded something with him. There's like one song they used with me on a like a compilation they did or something, but that was a crazy situation because like that night, all right, so that weekend it was a show with Ectovoid and Ritual Decay. Ectovoid went off stage and I jumped on stage with Ritual Decay for a few songs. One of the songs I straight up just didn't know, so I just got off stage and in the midst of that, I fucking cut the tip of my finger off,
What the
like
hell?
straight
Shit.
up,
Wow.
and so I was just bleeding everywhere. So I'm like fucked up, have this huge, like the tip of my fucking ring finger's missing. I'm like, fuck. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm supposed to be here the rest of the weekend and record with these guys. So I was actually like recording with them with a fucking injured hand. I mean, thankfully it wasn't my riffing hand. It was just and I was,
Picking.
bandaged up and I'm like slinging blood and shit. It was like, I guess it's pretty black metal or whatever, but I didn't do it on purpose. And I wasn't trying to flex or be cool. So it was just kind of like whatever.
It was actually hurt yourself. Yeah.
But I mean, so here's a cool part about the story, all right? It was at this place in Georgia called Thunderbox Studios, which is actually originally funded by the dudes from Mastodon, whatever. But so
Okay.
those guys were from Georgia, right? So,
Yeah.
and they were, into metal, but their band kind of blew up and wasn't really our style of metal. But all the dudes in Mastodon were cool. Rest in peace, Brent Hines. I seen that guy drive his motorcycle up to one of the gigs we were playing, but not stick around. So I was like, oh, hey, there's a cool guy around, whatever. It
Yeah.
sucks he's dead. But his band was whatever. I mean, they're definitely popular and did cool shit for other people. Not me personally, but anyway, Thunderbot Studios was cool. It was like a giant storage unit place, and every room was soundproof and big enough for like multiple bands to like share,
Fuck
right?
yeah. Yeah.
And you could be there. It was 24 hours, so you could go in at like 3 a.m. All these guys in Georgia work fucking bar gigs and shit, so they get off work and they come jam with their band or record or whatever. That's what we were doing there. And the coolest thing about this place was they had a vending machine that sold strings and picks. I was like,
How
that's
perfect
fucking
is that?
genius. I mean, it was at the string and pick price. I mean, you can put in whatever price you want on the fucking vending machine or whatever, but it was so cool. But anyway, at the time, that was like the cleanest bathroom in Atlanta, and I'm fucking dealing with this fucked up hand wound, and I'm like dripping blood through the fucking hallway, going to like change my Band-Aid. A friend of mine, her name's Haley Diane, her and her boyfriend at the time fucking rushed to go get me some like medical supplies right when it happened. So I had like this cache of like Band-Aids and like this Rambo powder that you can like pour on a wound to like make it coagulate and stop bleeding. I was just
Yeah.
like doing all this shit and like I
Crazy.
was like, fuck, let me go home. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much shit going on. I was just in like 4 or 5 bands at the time. So shortly after that, wasn't really in the band anymore. We just kind of like drifted apart. You know, life happens. It's all good.
Sure,
We're totally all
yeah.
cool. You know, so but yeah, man, just been yeah, hanging out.
Let me bring this up again because I need to. Is it Hemorrhoids playing this fest too? Is that right, Dylan? You're on here as well. Is that what y'all were saying? Let's see. Or Disgustor.
I'm having a hard time seeing them all too.
Yeah. I see Morbific. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway. Anyway. Hey, what's up? Oh, well, I clicked on Paul. Paul and T-Bone. What's going on? Shit. Fucking cool. All right, let's play that live song that I had queued up. Let me find it down here real quick. This is from San Antonio. Oh, wait, what was this, like 2017 or so? 20, do you
Gotta
remember?
be.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's
be.
around then. Yeah. Let me get it all set up here. So we're going to watch some live Ectovoid when they played here in San Antonio. I thought it was a killer show. So let me add it. I'm going to check. All right, now I just have one question for you on that. How did you get like 1995 Equitant from Absu on guitar over there? Because I'm sure you
Yeah,
heard that a million times. Like, wow,
yeah.
dude
He used
looks
to
like a
always get
big
that.
time.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was almost a fucking decade ago. I miss playing bass sometimes. I play guitar now. I have for the
Yeah,
last
I
like
saw that on the archive. I was like, okay, I think he switched over to guitar. All right.
yeah. So all right. So the thing with Ectovoid, I've like written all the music. So I've always written it on guitar. But back in the day, I taught everything to like Michael Stew because he was a shredder on guitar. So we were able to do like a Motorhead 3-piece thing where rhythm section keeps going and he can solo and it still sounds full. So I've always like taught other better guitar players my shit so I could still play or whatever. It didn't necessarily have to be the guitar player, but I've leaned into wanting to be a guitar player, and I'm not like trying to learn how to shred, but I just do rhythm now, so it's just great. I don't know. I just feel better playing guitar. I feel like the riffs, you know, I don't know. Like I feel like getting older, I can't really hear myself as well on stage, so I can hear what's happening more on guitar.
Mm.
Also, maybe. So I don't know. There's just a lot of different reasons why I just wanted to get better at guitar. So no better way than just fucking playing guitar. So I don't know. Just
Going out there
really
and playing it live too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, putting yourself on the spot, the Freudian nightmare of fucking like your punches aren't hitting hard enough or the fretboard turns into a snake, whatever, it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've done it and it feels good and it's like one of those things I just like wanted to push myself to do. But yeah, that was many years ago and it's been, a couple years now. I mean, so real quick, that guy Charlie Southern, he's not in the band anymore. He left kind of in the middle of production of in Unreality's Coffin. He did the guitar, he did the backup vocals. He was just kind of spreading himself too thin with all of his other bands and stuff like that. So we just kind of parted ways, and we
Sure. Yeah, it
kind of
happens.
we needed to needed to outsource for the solos at that point because that was still incomplete and we went with Derek from Father Befouled. He ripped all the solos on that album and yeah, I love everything he's done. And our current guitar player Sean Stasko, who's currently in Metaphobic, he's an amazing guitar player. He really does the songs justice. He plays them right. He plays them tight. He kills it, and he's a shredder. And he shows up. He's present. He's easy to, communicate with, and he's been on board since. Hell, I mean, it was like almost about a decade ago. This fest in Kentucky called Blood of the Wolf, and they had some really cool, acts come through. Like one of the last editions of it, they had Sadistic Intent as one of the headliners, so they weren't really fucking around. I mean, but I remember back then, Sean was like, "Hey, if you ever want another guitar player, hit me up." And we're kind of in a pinch and needed to move on with their new lineup and the future of the band and all that stuff. So he's played. He knows like all the stuff from the new album, and he adds his own flair to the solos and does those justice as well. Plays them pretty much note for note. He even plays the old shit. He plays Michael Stew's solos perfectly. And I was like, holy shit, it's
Wow.
awesome
Note
to
to
hear.
note. That's
Yeah, it's
that's
amazing, dude.
that's cool. Look, man, me on guitar. When I go into solos, I'm just going hell of a weight style, going on the whammy bar, and then just doodling. So I always, and, that's me. That's what I do. I'm not gonna try to go beyond my technical skill, right? So
Right.
some people like that, some people don't. But so I always respect the dudes that can actually remember everything note for note and play it, like the way it was recorded, and always about being perfect on that. I always like, damn, because me as a when I do that, it's in the neighborhood, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna say it's like note for note perfect every damn time.
Yeah, I mean, getting into guitar, I've always played guitar. Like when I was 14, I got my first acoustic guitar. So I've been fucking playing guitar forever now. But like, learning it and figuring out, how to serve a song, when to come in with a solo, like what to do, what you can do. Like I would definitely personally like I could do the Bill and Ted like what I mean, that's
Sure.
fun, but how to
Yeah.
figure out how to get to that point, I'm still figuring out. But I can do some sick leads and shit. I mean, I record myself on GarageBand along with some drums and other bullshit I add and I'll just like riff and I'll like do like what I think is a solo, and it sounds pretty cool. So I'm getting there. I'm just putting myself
Yeah,
out
I
there.
think sometimes too, dude. The hardest part is getting past what you think of it, not really, like what anybody else thinks. It's always like you. Like, do you feel like this is like worthy enough or good enough, or because obviously, I grew up in the age of damn shredders, so like Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, Iron Maiden guys, all these guys that could just really fucking play good guitar. So it took me years to even like to record any type of solo on a recording. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't play like that. But then I started thinking, you know what? It's not like Kerry King is like doing insanely stuff. It just sounds good. And you start realizing it just fits the music. It fits what this music is. So just telling you as another guy who like I think I kind of held myself back when I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Just to have the confidence just to go do it, man.
Yeah, and that's been fun. Just like shooting the ball, a creative tool I picked up recently. Is somebody said, if you're like a writer or a creator or whatever, create something with the intent of burning it. Like if you're gonna write something, write like 5 sentences that you're just gonna like shred, throw in the trash. Fuck it. If you're gonna write a riff, if you're gonna like do some strokes with your brush, just do that with the intent of fuck it. I'm gonna just burn this. I'm gonna throw it away. You end up cooking, man. You end up really coming up with some
That's a
sick
good
shit.
way. I never thought of that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
been something I've done subconsciously, like pretty much my whole like career of making music. But like hearing that, be like, whoa, that kind of like validated everything I've done like this whole time. Like I've just been like, fuck it, who cares? Like I want to make music that I think is cool, that I would want to listen to because it doesn't exist. Because I've heard fucking Considered Dead by Gorguts for fucking 20 years now. You know what I'm saying? I've heard all the Incantation albums I like. I've heard all the Morbid Angel shit. I know what I like. And I know the modern bands that, lean into that stuff too, but do their own thing completely. Like one of my favorite modern bands from like last year was like Caustic Wound, and they're more like grindcore sounding, but that's all like death metal grindcore shit. Yeah, but like, I love new modern stuff too. Like another thing last year, like Ossuary, they're another great modern band. Corpus Offal, ex members of Cerebral Rot, like shit
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
man.
Like
Yeah.
last year, those were three really heavy ones for me. Like it's really cool to see shit like that, like still, coming out. But what I'm saying is, back to like, you or me being creative, like you want to make shit that you think is cool. Ultimately, if you don't think it's cool, you're not going to play it. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that should always be anyone who's like writing music for a band or whatever the case. Should always be like you got to think about, do I like it? That's the main thing, right? Do I like it? Do I want to present this to the rest of the band? Do I, I don't know, man. I think it's tough when you start getting caught up in, well, will people like this? Or does it sound like, something like my band does or something? Now, and I'm not talking like something like obviously off the wall different where it's like, what are you doing? Come on, we don't play this music. But, the top thing should always be, do I like it? Would I listen to this if I heard it? Would I say, yeah, that's fucking cool? That's how I look at it.
I think honestly that's what it's all about. And I'm be real, I feel like we've kind of like won in that regard because it's like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, damn, I'm kind of getting off subject right now. Kind of lost my train of thought. My
It's
bad.
all
Let me
good.
let me
It's all good. It happens to me all
boot
the
that one
time.
back up. Um, damn. Anyway,
So
but
sometimes I
yeah,
got something awesome to say, and I'm waiting, and then someone else to say something cool, and then the awesome thing will be like, it's gone. Like, man,
yeah.
damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck, happens, especially live. The shit might really like put you on the spot. Yes, he has an Elvira back there. The Nika Elvira right back there. Yes. Let me put
That's
him
my
back.
baby.
Yep. Right when I saw that, I said, "All right, yeah, man, this is gonna be an awesome interview." Yeah, it's cool as shit up on the wall. This is gonna rule. So, is there any plans to do shows like regionally? Have you guys thought about playing in Texas again or around here, or do you got plans to do bigger things in the states or whatever?
Well, I mean, as of now, we're really just kind of booked up with this Killtown Death Fest stuff and the tour right after. Like, it's kind of like taking everything we got, this year to, get together and rehearse for that and get everything we need before that. So we're not really able to do anything else this year, but next year definitely like would love to play something in the States, like, do New Orleans, Texas, something like that. Like maybe do like a week run or 2 week run, something like that. I mean, it'd just be fun because like I want to say like 3 years ago now, we did a short run with Night Hag from Virginia. Those are the homies. Shout out
Uh,
to John, Joe, and Sam. What's up, babies? Um, yeah, those are my homies. I've jammed with them before. I played with them at Mass Destruction Metal Fest in Atlanta. So I'm sort of like a secret unlockable bonus character for Night Hag. I love
wow.
those dudes. Everything they do is gold. They're also in another band called Cryptcest. And they have like a black metal band called Lichen. It's like woodland, fucking like fungal black metal. Those
Did you say
guys are super.
fungal?
Yeah, fungal lichen,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
lichen,
Okay.
like a fungus. Yeah, those guys are awesome. They're super prolific. John, Joe, and Sam. They're always been doing shit. Met them when we played with Absu in Virginia. Fuck, I don't even know what year that was. I want to say 2013,
Well,
maybe. But
Bob
yeah,
from Pennsylvania says Night Hag, fucking
yeah. Bob
horns.
knows
He
what's
knows.
up. What's
Yeah,
up,
Bob
Bob?
knows. Bob's one of the regulars, and he knows his shit. He's
Oh yeah, dude.
a hell of a supporter. What's up, Bob? So you played the Absu in Virginia. What was that? Was that a fest or
It
what
was
was
like
going
a
on with?
one-off. It was like a small one-off show, and it was the same venue that we played with Morpheus Descends. Also, that was the first gig that Charlie Southern played with us. He learned our songs in like 2.5 weeks, and his other band Vimure was on the bill, so it just kind of made sense. Michael Stew wasn't doing too good at the time, and we kind of got that show offer. And we were like, "Oh, we have to do this." I mean, Stu hadn't passed away then; he was still alive, but he was totally cool with Charlie being in the band. There was intention for him to come back too, but he passed sadly. So shit happens. But shortly, like that was like when things were blowing up for us. So we played with Absu and Morpheus Descends, like right around the time like Stu was kind of like going downhill, and shortly after that, we played with Absu again, like right after he passed away, and it was kind of crazy. Like, so we've played with Absu like 3 times, and each time was like a totally different vibe. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, it's just part of it, man. We were lucky to get out there to Virginia. Like, we knew those guys. I'd met John at Maryland Death Fest. I was like, "Hey, dude, what's up? Sick Archgoat patch," and we just hit it off from then, and I've been following Night Hag from since then. He told me about Night Hag, and I was like, "Holy shit!" The lineup was completely different back then. And he's like one of the only original members. But yeah, those are the homies. I love those dudes. Oh, I'm not hearing you anymore. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I don't know what happened there. No.
It went to mute.
Hey, okay, good,
I
good.
hit the little plug in and it freaks it out sometimes. It just fucking puts me in mute. I
Glad
don't
we
know why.
fixed it.
Yeah, that would have been a disaster. So there you go. All right. Well, we're about an hour into this. Do you have anything else you would like to discuss before we start winding the conversation down?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Dan from Cruciaminum. He helped us out so much in the last few years with mixing and mastering the Seraphic Entombment album and the Ectovoid album, and just showing his support to us. Like, we've been huge Cruciaminum fans since
They roll. Yeah.
they've been out, and they've been like a modern band that's pushed us to kind of like make that style of creepy, morbid, fucking bizarre death metal, and that's been really awesome to not only be like acknowledged by those dudes, but to know that he listened to our album front to back until he was sick of it was like, I did the same to your album, brother. But I'm never gonna get sick of Crucial Minute. But you know what I mean? Like when it's a
Yeah.
little bit different. But anyway, yeah. Just want to give a shout out to Dan for all the hard work he does for not just our bands, but any of the other bands that have worked with him. And you could literally anybody on this show right now could like search up Dan Lones' like album history and like check out everything he's ever done. And Matt Hefner's the drummer in Crucial Minute now too, so that's awesome.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, it's just great to see those guys still like kicking ass. So yeah, that's really the only thing I've really kind of felt bad about not mentioning earlier when you were talking about the album and stuff. As far as like stepping it up to the next level, like working with Dan was definitely that for us as well. Working with Alex and Dan on the Seraphic Entombment and Ectovoid albums recently have been just amazing. And yeah, I don't know, dude. Like it's been a great experience. I haven't really done many of these, so this has been a lot of fun. Just kind of letting it go. Was a little bit nervous going into it, but now this is pretty cool.
Yeah, man. It's just, yeah, I used to be like kind of lock up on live shows and all that because I just wasn't used to it. But no, once you realize this is like hanging out and talking metal with some friends, you know, it's not bad at all. You know, it's kind of like to me, I see them like as the new zines, you know, for stuff that's a little more laid back and not as much effort. Obviously, you know, you just show up and talk. You don't have to write out an interview and go to the post office or send an email. You just sit here and talk and talk about metal and the bands or whatever comes up, man. Like
yeah, it's been fun.
your hard movie figure collection back there. Well, if you come to San Antonio or are thinking about coming to San Antonio, hit me up. I'll see if I can point you in the right direction and get you with the right people that are still doing good stuff here in town.
Yeah, man, it'd be awesome to see you, face to face and catch up and just shoot the shit, man. This has been a lot of fun, man. I can't thank you enough for your support, over the last decade and, everything you're doing now. It's really awesome that you got this channel going, dude. I really hope for the best for you, and I'm definitely now officially a fan. And
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's and I usually in the daytime if you're working. Just check it out. I just play music in the day for about a couple hours or so, just underground jams. And other than that, I'll do some interviews in the evening or do some, play some music late at night too and hang out. But daytime is just music because I'm working too. So I just, make a little playlist and I call it work jams and you just jam out, I mean, the people in the chat, you can, do that. That's always fun. Mostly everybody in here is pretty cool except this son of a bitch, this cat, not a good friend of him. Just playing, don't bite me, Mr. Howie. But we'll play a jam for you on the way out, man. Is there anything you would like me to play from the album, the new one?
Let me think.
Yeah, let's let you pick one for the chat here. And remember, everyone, you can go to ectovoid.com, right?
Yeah, do that.
Keep you updated on what's going on.
Yeah, please do, guys. That would be so awesome. And, if you want to give us a like or follow on Facebook or Instagram if you haven't already. And like I said, if you guys want to like reach out to us personally, we can get stuff shipped out to you. And, you'll know as soon as we do whenever we have some stuff. I would say special choice for you guys tonight, I would get you to put on Erroneous Birth. That is me and Chris, the drummer of the band's favorite track from this album. He has the most fun. He always tells me how much fun he has playing this one when we jam, and I really love this song too. So yeah, man, I just want to thank everybody who came along, to join us for the show tonight. And hails to everyone, and you especially, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you taking out the time in your day to come on here too, because you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't want to do this stuff. They just don't. I get it. If you don't want to do it, but if you're in a small underground band, I don't see why you would. Or let me take that back. A smaller, not a huge underground band. You know what I mean? Why?
Exactly.
Talk about your band and let more people know about it. And because mostly everyone here is underground, so that's great.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man.
You're not going to get the guy going, oh, yeah, man, are you down with the sickness? That's
yeah,
that's not going to happen.
No, not with us.
All right, man, let's get this jam going. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks
Hey,
for your
thank you
time.
guys. Take care.
All right, let me play this jam.
talking to whoever the guy was.
What is light without dark?